Any Small Goodness, a novel of the barrio, by Toni Johnston. Chapter 3, The Coach. If you find yourself on the mountain, either you've always lived here or you've wandered badly. LA Times, February 2nd, 1999. My hair wakes up stupid. Finally, I tame it with some product like Axle Grease. Throw down chilaquiles and head for school, dreading first period, basketball, when I'm grogged with sleep. Another day in LA, a long time after our name reclaimment. 3 years to be exact. With Alicia and Raul and Jaime, I walk through the morning built from haze. Late summer heat still has got a chokehold on the city, so although it's early, everywhere you look you see things in semi-wilt. People, trees, lawns, even the streets stretch out like parched gray tongues. I feel listless as a sun-stroked lettuce. Probably my friends do too. To avoid any excess outlay of energy, we don't talk much. Don't even kick the beer cans that crud up the sidewalk. Suddenly, these older guys ram us from behind, elbows swinging like steel chicken wings, tattooed up mensos in leather jackets emblemized in death. They snarl, "Muévate, boy," and they don't mean a barnyard animal. They swagger us out of their way, so close I'm nearly blown down by beer breath. At 8 a.m. Who's the boy now, I think. I want to break and run, but know better. Never show fear. Stay cool, I tell myself. Just walk. With cholos like these, you can be assured that they are cohetes, guns, somewhere. When they're past, they'll laugh and they'll flip us off and, luckily, keep careening down the street. We're mute the rest of the way. My days started sour. First my hair, then punks. Now what? Man, what a menso head I am, signing up for sports, and at this torturous hour. Why did I go for this crack of dawn pain? Inside myself, where hope sits. I guess I thought maybe I'd flower immediately into a basketball star. So far, this hasn't happened. Not immediately or otherwise. I'm not exactly Senor Coordinacion. My ability's sub-excelente, but I don't trip myself either. Ours is a barrio of basketball maniacs. Our fans don't wear cheese hunks on their heads like some of those idiotas on TV, but they get pretty into the game. When the season approaches, like now, 2 worn shoes stop and start with no squeak. 2 soft balls loft through the air. The whole neighborhood starts dribbling and jumping around like a great big popcorn machine. Guess that's another reason I signed up. Like the ad says, I love this game. Now we're in the gym, waiting for Coach. He comes late a lot because he owns a Timex as primitive as a sundial and a car that's easily Jurassic. I count on every one of you players. Coach pounds into us again and again. I can't count on my watch. I can't count on my car. I've got to count on something. Everyone's about as hazed out as me, so there's a spurt of talk now and then, but mostly pretty senseless mumblings. Some kids stretch out on the bleachers for extra Z's. Our school colors are orange and green. Our mascot's the tiger. What mental heads thought these things up? Tigers don't exist in that color combination. Tigers don't exist in LA. Anyway, dressed like peas and carrots, our neighborhood basketball's waiting for Coach again. Unbelievable. Coach strolls into the gym in a suit with a tie off to one side like a skinny windflop flag. He usually wears gray oversized sweats that make him look like a melting elephant. Today, he's dressed sharp. The reason's standing beside him. 7 foot plus, with the build of a post and bald as a light bulb. An NBA basketball player once so famous he made Santa Claus seem like a total unknown. He's been out of the game a while, but any true fan knows him. Caray, this day is shaping up. What I notice most about this guy is his eyes, like owls. It seems there are deep things in them, deep and mysterious. What's he doing? Lost among the tigers. He must have really veered off the road from Beverly Hills. Listen up, everybody, Coach says, as if he needs to grab our attention. We're all gaping like apes. You all know who this is, right? His face looks completely satisfied, like a cat who swallowed an entire turkey. Man, do we know this guy? He's here, says Coach, to hang out with us. Watch our moves. Instruct us. To be our assistant coach. Jeez. This news, it's amazing all the tigers don't swoon to the floor. But we don't. We're too stupefied. One thing, Coach adds. Nobody breathes his name, understood? Our new assistant wants to remain anonymous to keep cameras from snooping around. Right now, nobody can breathe anything, but somehow guys pipe up with Yoro and Scout's honor, even though there are no scouts here, and I swear on the grave of my hamster. Then Coach Tree, my name for the wandering all-star, steps forward and says, Buenos dias. That snaps the spell. The tigers can no longer control themselves. They totally swarm the guy. He hugs everyone and they hug him. And he laughs and laughs. At home, we're discussing this coach thing over supper. Chiles rellenos, which Mommy and Abuelita prepared together. For this dish, you need poblano chilies and the black-green glossy kind. Abuelita says you can count the veins to pick the hottest ones. Some people prefer bland, but we want those strong enough to blow your head off. Once the skins are roasted and steamed off, you stuff the rest with meat or cheese and dunk them in flour. Then, with stiff coats of egg whites, they fry in oil, floating like hot islands. Last touch, a drizzle of tomato sauce. To help out, I usually chop the onions, wearing ski goggles that Abuelita and I got at a garage sale, so my tears don't dilute the sauce. One thing I know, if on my own, por lo menos, I could always fix chile rellenos. Our whole family loves basketball, even Abuelita. Probably even our cat, who sits in Abue's skimpy lap to watch all games. Especially, we love the Lakers. We know the names of all the players, their numbers, their stats. We are wild for their announcers, Chick and Stu, and given the chance, we would vote Chick in for president. My brother's both excited and skeptical about Coach Tree, the barrio interloper. Luis is 3 years older than me. Maybe that's why he's untrusting. His motive must be money, Luis says, studying his mangled fork, a garbage disposal victim. But his eyes say no way can that be. The school district's wish list has a focus on books, not NBA coaches. Yeah, I say. Like, we've got a gushing oil well at school to turn dollars in at will. Luis burns me a look, so I say, so cut my heart out and fry it for dinner. Everyone, including him, laughs at this Aztec humor. Poppy finishes his stuffed chili pepper. Ay, que delicia. He almost sings about how delicious it is. Instead, he exclaims, You are such a good cook, mi vida. It's that mole that runs in your veins. All happy, Mommy laughs and goes a little red. Then she grows serious and says, I believe this basketball man has all we will ever need. I believe he was doing this coaching thing for love only. That sends Luis's eyes spinning in his skull. I can nearly hear his brain grinding. Love! Man, don't you know the world goes on verde, the green dollars? But he says nothing disrespectful. Neither do I. I plan to just dribble my brains loose while the guy's here, to gain every possible tip, and maybe, with buckets of sweat, I'll become excelente at this game. Coach Tree arrives every morning, just about before anyone. He slips into the parking lot in some anonymous car and slowly unfolds himself out. like a giant and rusted pocket knife. I say he's there before most everyone. Actually, at first, just about the whole school's waiting for a glimpse of him. He takes that easily, just strides along, talking to crowding kids and smiling like he's found himself a good home. From a distance, where I'm watching, this reception looks like a tall, calm ship riding a choppy sea. The new basketball program affects everyone, not just the big kids. From kinder on up, everyone can play. Our school is so old, kinder to 8th, all grades are there. And they do play. If the ball doesn't bog them down, and even if it does, they just keep trying and trying. That's Coach Tree's real aim. Though everyone gets a shot at basketball, against other schools, it's the older kids who suit up. I'm not world class, but somehow I actually make the team. For Coach Tree, the Tigers work like crazy. We don't have much height, but speed, we've got muchísimo. And we're okay shooters, too. To say Coach Tree helps us a lot is the understatement of the millennium. No whistles, no yells, no heaving of chairs. From a steady practice and from his calm voice, the fundamentals sink in. Once, between classes, he stops me in the hall. My nerves get tangled as a fistful of paper clips. "You're working hard, Arturo," he says, quiet as ever. "Doing good." Caray, like a warm look from a girl, rare for me. I can live on those words forever. Before long, we're actually winning some games. That's partly due to one guy, Jose. A natural, you could say. He can steam past all defenders, fake one way, stutter step, elevate, shoot, and swish. All day, all night if he has to. Like breathing. Jose can flat play. Jose is a smooth player, but a real troublemaker. His family's a mess, so he bears a chip on his shoulder the size of a sequoia stump. He's been kicked out of school more times than there are numbers. He'd as soon spit on you as talk. Has played those fights for fun. Jose is a strong reason why we win. Still, for survival, after practice, wherever he is, our team pretty much vacates the area. There's a sign on my door. No se aceptan chismes. But actually, in my room, I allow carloads of gossip. Chismes bloom at school. Soon everyone knows that Coach Tree is losing things. A pen, a handkerchief, a keychain, once even a tennis shoe. And the next thing I hear, the culprit's Jose. Word is, he's vending Coach Tree Abelia to guys. Geez, stealing from the coach is like stealing from God. My opinion, Jose's the undisputed king of the mental heads. If it's true, we all expect that this is the last of him. He ought to depart from the team fast. But, after all, it must be a story invented for excitement, because Jose keeps playing. Weird thing, though. Muy strange. Sometimes he asks to shoot hoops with us, and sometimes he says hello. One night, Alicia comes over to do homework and snack on Mexican cooking. Crunchy chicharrón with lime juice squeezed on. We gouge it into guacamole while we're sort of studying. Sort of, because immediately concentration slips away. The air feels as crackly as the pork rinds, like Alicia's got something to say. I mark my book with a tomato, the only thing around. From nowhere she plunges in. Coach Tree caught Jose stealing his stuff. Yeah, I say, low-key, to see where it's going. Yeah, and he's letting it slide. Mentirosa! She's got to be lying. Amazement must fill my face like the look of a stuffed deer. Well, not exactly letting it slide, she says. Coach Tree sees promise in Jose. He's spending free time with him, making him practice ball, making him study. Coach Tree says he won't let him toss his life into the dumpster. So Coach Tree works with Jose one-on-one. I let that sink in. Think it'll work? I asked. Yeah, I do. Why? Because for the first time in forever, Jose trusts someone. After Alicia goes, I'm in my room thinking about Coach Tree and Jose. Coach doesn't have to do this. He's lost by choice in our nothing barrio, helping a kid with not many chances. Even though he's a hard case, I have hope if Alicia has hope. And she ought to know. Jose's her brother. My grandmother takes a decision. I prepare chiles rellenos for this coachman. That said, there's no stopping her. I'm ordered to tell the ex-NBA champ, that the Peppers will arrive today after school along with my whole family. And they do, in a see-through Tupperware tub. Not my family, just the chiles. Coach Tree's waiting in the lunch court with a mob of curious kids when Abuelita gets there. Like a little broom, she sweeps right up and says, I am happy to meet. You play basket real good. Chiles muy excelentes. Eat. Yes, ma'am. He samples a chile relleno with Abuelita cheerfully breathing down his neck and prodding, Excelente? Excelente? Suddenly, Coach Tree's like some cartoon character, steam puffing from his ears, strangling out words in speech balloons. Hug! Hug! I say hug too, casting an arrowy stare at Abuelita. She's brought the hottest chiles in the universe. Man, my basketball days are over. Probably my life is over. CPR, some kid shouts. What a menso head. There's no CPR for Peppers. Abuelita turns away, totally mortified. I take that back. She's giggling. We all hold our breath. Then, Gracias, Senora. Excellent. Coach Tree gasps. Everyone loses it. Muriendo de la risa. Then, Coach Tree wipes his tears from his face and bows and shakes Abuelita's hand. He shakes hands with everybody in the family. He laughs, and over the haze of the hot blacktop, carrying the leftover chili peppers, he walks to his car. Slowly, a tall ship of smoking calm. Luis is right. I find out from Alicia, Coach Tree is coaching for money. His relative's a teacher here, so he said he'd help out for our school for the salary-shattering price of $1. I know my limits. In pickup games I hold my own, but I am not NBA bound. Still, maybe I could do something like Coach Tree. Something for love. Something that's mine. Though right now I've got zero idea what. To use one of Poppy's favorite words, Coach Tree is a person to emulate.